Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Books Podcast with your host, Gloria and Rogan. And today we're excited to dive into a special book with you. We've picked this one because it has some really important lessons to share, and we can't wait to talk about them. So let's get started.
Ever feel like you're in a staring contest with happiness? You know it's there. It'd be great.
Oh, absolutely.
Have around more often.
Yeah.
But something just keeps holding you back.
It's so true.
Like, you should be going to bed early.
Yes.
But suddenly, one more episode of your favorite show doesn't seem so bad.
It's that sneaky thing, that resistance that Matthew Kelly really dives into
Yes.
in Resisting Happiness.
It's not just laziness.
No.
It's not just procrastination.
It's a force, like you said, to be reckoned with.
And that's what we're diving deep into today with Matthew Kelly's Resisting Happiness Study Guide.
Yes.
We're going to unpack some of the wisdom from this.
Absolutely.
Discover some aha moments, and maybe even spark some personal reflection along the way. You've been digging into this guide, so we're here to help you unlock its full potential.
For sure, whether you're right in the middle of Lent
Right.
or just looking to understand this whole concept of resistance better, these insights, I think, are for you.
Now, Kelly doesn't just say resistance is some abstract idea.
Right.
In Chapter 1, he calls it out
Yeah.
as an active force, like it's strategically trying to steer us off course.
It knows our weaknesses.
It knows our weaknesses, it plays on our doubts. It almost feels personal, right?
It does. It's like it's whispering in your ear sometimes.
It's those whispers, oh my gosh,
Right.
they're dangerous.
They're so subtle.
so sit.
It's not a screaming alarm bell.
Right.
It's that, oh, one more episode. Remember we were just talking about?
Yeah,
That's resistance, quietly derailing your good intentions.
it is.
And the guide encourages you to think about this in a personal way, especially in session 1. It asks, when you've encountered resistance, has it been a whisper or a full-blown shout?
Oh, I've definitely had both.
Right.
The whispers are so dangerous, like you said, they lull you into this false sense of security.
Yes.
But those shouts, those are a battle.
Oh, yeah.
Those are an internal battle that's hard to ignore.
And that's why recognizing it is so important, whether it is a whisper or a shout.
Right?
It's that first step to actually overcoming it and making different choices.
Okay, so before we can even think about overcoming it,
Yeah.
we have to figure out where we even stand, right?
Where are we on the happiness spectrum?
Yes.
Right.
Chapter 2.
Yes.
He asks you to rate your happiness on a scale of 1 to 10. And at first I was like, who actually does that?
Right.
But there's a genius to it.
It's simple, but it's profound.
It is.
Because it's not about obsessing over the number,
Right.
but just taking a step back, honestly assessing, am I truly as happy as I could be?
It's like holding up a mirror.
Yes.
But instead of focusing on outward appearances,
Yes.
it's reflecting on your inner state of being.
Exactly.
And that can be powerful,
Incredibly powerful.
especially when you connect it to the bigger picture.
Yes, because Kelly doesn't just leave it at rate your happiness.
Right.
He takes it a step further and ties it to our relationship with God,
Okay.
especially in the context of Lent.
So it's like, where in my life is God not at the center?
Yes.
And how is that impacting my happiness?
Yeah, it's a perspective shift that can be really eye-opening, even outside of Lent.
Even outside of Lent, yeah.
It's about recognizing that true, lasting happiness isn't something we just achieve on our own. It's found in aligning ourselves with God's will, which, let's be honest, it's not always easy.
No, it's not. Speaking of not always easy, let's talk about these 4 little words that pack a punch.
Oh, yes.
Thy will be done.
Big ones.
Chapter 8 really dives into this.
Yes.
From the Our Father prayer.
It's so easy to just say those words.
It's so easy to say them.
Without really grasping their weight.
Right. But Kelly doesn't let us off that easily.
No, he doesn't.
He brings them to the forefront. He's like, I need you to grapple with this.
What does it really mean?
What does it really mean
Or
to surrender
surrender.
to a plan that's bigger than our own?
Right, because it might even be scarier than the resistance itself.
Yes.
Because it requires a whole other level of trust.
You're giving up the control.
Letting go of that control.
You're putting your faith in something beyond our understanding.
Beyond our understanding.
That, God's plan for our lives
Right.
might look very different than what we had envisioned.
It's a bumpy road sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
But it's that act of surrender. That's where the real journey begins.
Okay.
It's about embracing the unknown and trusting that even amidst the uncertainty, God's love and grace are always present.
It's a beautiful thing, this idea of surrender.
It is.
but it definitely takes practice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And maybe one of the first steps is really asking ourselves that question Kelly poses in Chapter 7. It seems deceptively simple.
It's the classic.
Right.
Are you happy?
Are you happy?
But of course,
Yes.
there's more to it than a yes or no.
Way more.
Right.
I could say, sure, I'm happy,
Right.
but am I really digging beneath the surface?
Yes.
Am I fulfilled?
Exactly.
And I think that's what this guide really makes you think about.
Yeah, and it ties directly into something he brings up in Chapter 9 about spiritual health,
Okay.
which at first glance might seem a little out of left field.
It does, because
Right.
you think of health as
Yeah.
going to the gym, eating your vegetables.
Right, exactly.
Not necessarily my inner spiritual life.
But the guide does a good job of connecting those dots.
Right.
Because just like our bodies need good food and exercise to thrive,
Right.
our souls need nourishment too. Prayer, meditation, acts of kindness, these are the things that feed our spirit.
Those are good things.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes total sense.
good.
And then it leads us to this concept of living soulfully,
Yes.
which honestly I feel like could be like a tagline for something, but what does it actually mean?
Yeah, it's about living with intention, with purpose.
Okay.
Recognizing that we're not just going through the motions.
Right.
That we're connected to something much greater than ourselves.
So instead of rushing through the day on autopilot,
Yes.
it's about being present
Yes.
in each moment,
Yes.
savoring the little joys, nurturing those relationships.
It's those little things.
Right.
Yeah.
Aligning our actions with our values.
And the guide encourages us to take a step back and really examine how we're currently living.
Yeah.
Are we truly present and engaged in our lives?
Yeah.
Or are we just going through the motions, disconnected from our true selves?
Because if we are, those whispers of resistance, I feel like, get a little bit louder.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think I can get away with this,
Yeah.
but I probably can't.
But here's the good news.
Okay.
We have the power to shift that focus, to tune in to the whispers of our soul
Okay.
and start living with more intention.
Like that.
And sometimes that means finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.
Yes. Chapter 11.
Yes, exactly.
Finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like that saying, stop and smell the roses,
Yes.
but you're really appreciating it.
Yes.
You're really looking at it.
It's about shifting that perspective.
Right.
Training ourselves to find that joy in those everyday moments.
Yeah.
Appreciating the warmth of the sun on our skin.
It's those little things.
Yes.
Yeah.
A shared laugh with a loved one. The smell of rain after a long dry spell.
Yes.
Those moments of awe and wonder.
Yes.
They're always there, right?
Always there.
Waiting to be discovered.
We just have to open our eyes.
But we have to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
About seeking those out.
Be intentional about it.
Cultivating that attitude of gratitude
Yes.
for those simple gifts.
It's not a destination.
It's not a destination.
It's the journey.
It's finding that joy in the journey itself.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to the importance of solitude, even amidst the business.
Yes.
Those moments of quiet, they can be so powerful
Right, it is.
in helping us to reconnect with ourselves, appreciate the beauty of the present moment.
It's like hitting the pause button on life for a second, you know?
It is. You need that stillness
Yeah.
to really absorb everything that's happening. And the guide encourages us to do that.
Yeah.
Look at our lives from different perspectives.
Okay.
Step back, examine those habits, those routines, you know.
Yeah.
Are they serving us? Or are we just on autopilot?
Are we just on autopilot?
Yeah.
Which is where I feel like Chapter 21 really resonated with me when he talks about the power of habits.
Yes.
And not just breaking bad ones, but actually designing good ones, like on purpose.
Creating them.
Yes.
Yes.
We're not just creatures of habit.
Right.
We're creators of them.
Yeah. And it can be overwhelming
It can.
because we think, oh my gosh, every little thing matters.
Right, right.
But
Where do we even start?
Kelly breaks it down and he says, look for those keystone habits,
Okay.
those foundational practices that have a ripple effect
Okay.
on other areas of our lives.
So instead of trying to change everything at once, you just
Mhm.
focus on one
One thing.
and then kind of let the momentum carry you forward.
Exactly. And those keystone habits are going to be different for everybody.
Right, right.
Maybe it is a consistent prayer practice.
Okay.
Maybe it's incorporating more movement. Maybe it's making more time for loved ones. I don't know.
Right.
But finding what works for you
Okay.
and committing to it.
Okay. So find it, commit to it. And sometimes I think it's acknowledging the ways that we hold ourselves back,
Oh, 100%.
which leads us to, I think it's Chapter 23.
Yes.
He uses a very intense phrase, attempted murder.
Yeah, that's Kelly's way of saying we can sabotage our own happiness.
Yes.
That negative self-talk.
It's so true.
The limiting beliefs.
Yes.
It's like we're slowly chipping away at our own potential.
We are. It's like we're standing in our own light,
Yes.
blocking the sun from helping us to grow.
And the guide encourages us to recognize those things, those self-sabotaging behaviors,
Okay.
and replace them with life-giving practices.
Okay, like what?
Cultivating self-compassion, embracing our imperfections,
Okay.
remembering that we're worthy
We are worthy.
to happiness.
Yes, we are.
It's silencing that inner critic
Yes.
and replacing it with a voice of encouragement, a voice of love.
Love it. Which brings us to chapter 32, Let Your Light Shine.
Yes.
It's a beautiful reminder that we all have these unique gifts
We do.
to offer the world,
Share them with the world.
but sometimes it takes some effort
It does.
to let them shine through.
And the guide asks, what are you doing with your life?
Ooh, that's a big one.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not meant to be morbid or anything.
Right.
It's an invitation to reflect.
Yeah.
Are we living in alignment with our purpose?
Oh.
Are we sharing our gifts?
What makes us come alive?
Yes.
What sets our soul on fire?
Yes. And then how do we share that?
And how do we share it? That's the thing.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it means stepping outside that comfort zone,
Oh, it does.
facing our fears, having the courage to be authentically ourselves.
Not easy.
No, it's not easy at all.
But, personal growth is a journey,
It is. It's a journey, not a destination.
not a destination.
And we have to embrace those ups and downs.
Yes, we do.
Knowing that each experience, both positive and challenging, it's shaping us.
Okay.
It's guiding us closer to
Yes.
our purpose.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive here
Yeah.
into resisting happiness,
Yes.
I'm left with this overwhelming sense of hope
Good.
that happiness is a choice.
It is.
And it's a choice that we make every single day.
Every single day.
Confronting that resistance. It's embracing our true selves.
Love that.
And it's living with intention and purpose.
And I love that the guide keeps asking, what are you hungry for? Not
Yeah.
just for food,
Right.
but on a deeper level, on a soul level.
Yeah, what nourishes your soul?
What's going to bring us that lasting fulfillment?
Because it's not about reaching some final destination. It's about the journey.
It's about choosing to walk a path
Yes.
that leads us toward greater purpose, meaning, and yes, happiness.
Every single day.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this conversation and want to dive into more book insights, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We're back every Sunday at 9 a.m. with new books and more to learn from. Until next time, take care and keep learning, keep growing.